my channel. My name is Rachel Waldorf. If you're new here, hello. So today I'm joined with my friend Megan Acuna, and we are going to be doing a very fun, a little bit different from my channel, but very important video about being sustainable. Megan, tell me a little bit about your channel and like how you're gonna help me do this.
Yeah, so my channel focuses on lifestyle, but I try to look at everything through the lens of being a little bit more ethical and sustainable. So I do a lot of thrift shopping, a lot of upcycling, and just tips on how to cut your waste down. So yeah.
Yeah, which is super cool because today I wanted to bring something that I've tried to incorporate a little bit more in my life. Now that I feel like I'm out in Seattle, it's something that's come up quite a bit. Some of these tips may seem like very duh and like I know how to do that already, but some you might not. And I kind of just wanted to bring them into your life, make you aware of them. So if you guys are interested, we are just gonna give you quick and easy tips to incorporate into your life about how to be a little bit more sustainable. Yeah. Okay, you guys, so starting off our list, we are gonna start with no plastic water bottles. This one kind of might seem like common sense, but it's 2019, we should be buying them, but a lot of people do, especially if we're in a rush. Like I know I've done it before. If I'm like super thirsty, I don't have a water bottle with me, I'll quickly grab one from the store. And it's just something that I feel like we can avoid doing if we have like a sustainable reusable water bottle with us.
Yeah, you have to make it like just as easy as it would be to just buy one, because it's so much faster. But then if you like have one with you, it's like, oh, I can just go to the water fountain.
For sure, and it's like, it's gonna take a little bit to get used to. I know when I was starting to bring one with me, it took me a while to remember it. But if you just continually do it, it's a habit, right? So like bring it with you, put it in your purse, put it in your backpack, have it with you so that when you are thirsty, you can just fill it up. Yep. Okay, you guys, so tip number 2 is going to be
to wash all of your clothing in cold water instead of warm water, because most of the energy that we use washing our clothes is actually just from heating the water up.
Which is so crazy. Like I didn't know that it took so much energy just to heat up the water.
Right, and it's better for your clothes if you don't anyway, because cold water is less likely to like shrink or fade your clothes, and they'll have a longer life if you wash them in cold water. So
easy tip, everybody can do it. Okay, you guys, tip number 3 is gonna be to use non-plastic Q-tips. Now let me just put a little disclaimer out there. It's not necessary to use Q-tips in general, but if you use them, I use them like when I get out of the shower, things like that. Try to buy the ones that don't have the plastic in the middle. That seems like kind of maybe common sense, but it's also something you don't realize. Like I did not realize that I was buying the Q-tips with the plastic in them, and you're buying like 300 or 100 to 300 at a time. And that's a lot to just throw away. So you're throwing away a lot of plastic doing that. So if you can, buy the ones with the cardboard or paper in between.
And the 4th tip we have is to use wood or electric toothbrushes instead of plastic ones, because you go through a lot of toothbrushes in your lifetime, like way more than you realize.
I know, you throw away them like every couple of months, I think, just because they get bad.
Yeah, but you know, with wood ones, they can biodegrade, and then with the electric ones, there is like, you know, plastic still, obviously, but if you are like just changing a little head, first of all, that's way less plastic, and they also last a lot longer too.
Right, and I feel like you're not changing out the head super often. Right. Like it takes a bit of time until they get, you know, messed up. So it's a good one, and I think it's something that people definitely forget about. So tip number 5 is to thrift shop. Megan is like the guru of this. Her channel is built, I feel like, with so many different thrift shop hauls. Why is this such a good tip for being sustainable?
Yeah, so I mean, when you thrift shop, you're extending a garment's life, which is really great because then it's not just ending up in a landfill, like it gets an extra year or 2 of use.
I think the toughest part when like people go out shopping is if you go to Forever 21 or you go to H&M, things are so cheap there. And it seems like it's easier on the bank account. Like why would I choose to go thrifting versus buy a cheap shirt at like Target?
Right. So, I mean, first of all, when you get clothes from those places, they're typically like really poorly made, and they're like on trend because everything is moving so quickly, which is, you know, why it's called fast fashion. Right. But everything comes back into style. It's usually like, you know, 20 years or whatever. Like right now, like the 90s are really in again. So you can find those trendy pieces at a thrift store, and usually they're better quality as well.
And they're actually from the 90s, which is kind of fun. Right. Like they're actually like vintage.
Right, and depending on what thrift store you go to, they could be cheaper too.
Yes.
So it's tempting, but I promise it's worth it if you put in like the little bit of extra work to go like try to find a piece, it's like the best feeling.
Yeah, it's a great tip, and I think it's one that a lot of people are starting to do. But it's good to just be like, hey, don't buy that cheap shirt from Forever 21 because who knows where it came from. Megan and I also did a video on her channel, which is super fun. We went thrifting.
Yeah, we thrifted for like summer trends, and it was kind of like a challenge. So go over there and let us know who you think won the challenge.
Yeah, I will have it linked below, so make sure to check it out. Okay, so tip number 6 is also a very trendy one. It's to use reusable straws and also pack silverware or forks, knives, whatever you usually use to eat. So Megan actually taught me this. I remember watching one of your videos, and you had like a cute little, I don't know if it was like a makeup bag or something, but you put your straw in there, you put your fork, and then you would just bring that with you.
Yeah.
And I started doing that because I eat out a lot, like more than I'd like to admit. And I never have those things on hand. I would always use a plastic fork or a spoon, and never had a straw either. So having those things with me, kind of like packing the water bottle, it's just been like, I don't even pull for those things anymore.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel better because I used to all the time. It's a great tip, it's easy, and it's really good for the environment.
So the next tip is to try eating less meat. I know this is like, for a lot of people are like, whoa, hold on.
It's
like,
a little
no.
scary. Like, I can't get rid of my meat.
Yeah, like I gotta have like my chicken, which is totally fine. But if you pick like a day a week to not eat meat, or you just try to incorporate more like plant-based meals, it actually makes a huge difference just in like the carbon emissions and the energy that like meat requires.
Right, I don't think like a lot of people know how much energy, like I did not know that it took so much energy to get the meat on your plate.
Yeah, it's a
right?
lot.
Like you're not thinking about the water it takes or the food that you have to feed the animals, and then also transportation costs, things like that. So it's it is a ton of energy that goes into making it, and it's something that we don't think about. So just eliminating it once a week, if not more, would be huge, I think.
And the last tip is to bring your own bags.
Duh. Like I feel like this is like, if you're like, it's again 2019, we should be doing this. We know plastic bags are so bad, but there's so many reusable bags now. Like bring your own bags when you're going grocery shopping or shopping.
I feel like the biggest thing for me is making sure I actually bring it into where I'm going and not just leaving it in the car.
Yes, I've done that so many times. Or also just like when you're leaving your house, to just like have a mental check, like, hey, do I have my bags? It's just all about habits, and the more you do it, the more consistent you're gonna be like with it, and it's not even gonna, you're not even gonna have to remember it. It's just gonna be a habit.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, that kind of concludes this video. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
And helping me out. Like Megan is the queen of like just knowing how to be sustainable, but not going over the top with it, which is like, it can be really hard to do, like to think that you have to be sustainable 100%, at least in my life, and I know yours too. It's not realistic, but if you can do little things to be better, that's, I think, the goal and the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there are days where I forget my water bottle, or I forget my bag in the car and I have to get like a paper one, and it's like not the best, but as long as you're doing like as much as you can do, it's better than you know, 99% of people.
100%.
Be sure to let us know in the comments if you guys are using any of the tips that we mentioned in this video, or if you have any more for us that we might have missed or like not thought of.
We for sure missed a few, and like we don't know everything, so yeah, let us know below.
If you guys are over here from my channel, make sure you subscribe to Rachel's channel, because she makes the most fun and like beautiful content. So nice. Click that subscribe button, give her a thumbs up.
I would so appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you, and we will see you next time. Okay, bye.